Time now for sports news on the News at 10 with Kayode Alayode.
Thank you, Gimba Umar. Welcome to Sports News. Super Eagles captain Mikel Obi has left Tianjin Teda after the mutual termination of his contract. Mikel joined the Chinese Super League side from Chelsea in January of 2017, making 31 appearances. The 31-year-old scored 3 goals and contributed 3 assists during his stay with the club. He played his last game for Tianjin in October, helping them to a 4-2 win over Shanghai Shenhua. We move swiftly to the English FA Cup. Manchester United are through to the 4th round after beating Championship strugglers Reading by 2-0. Juan Mata and Romelu Lukaku scored the goals as the Red Devils made it 5 straight wins under interim boss Ole Gunnar. Elsewhere, Alvaro Morata scored twice to help Chelsea beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. West Ham United also beat Birmingham by the same scoreline. Brighton defeated Bournemouth 3-1 and Everton held on to edge Lincoln 2-1. Alex Iwobi scored Arsenal's 3rd goal in their 3-0 win over Blackpool, while Premier League side Cardiff crashed out at the hands of a League One side Gillingham following a 1-0 loss. To other sports now, Switzerland has retained the Hopman Cup after Roger Federer and Belinda Bencic secured a 2-1 victory over Germany's Angelique Kerber and Alexander Zverev. In a rerun of the 2018 final, Federer beat Zverev 6-4, 6-2 to give Switzerland an early 1-0 lead. Wimbledon champion Kerber levelled the tie for Germany with a 6-4, 7-6 win over Bencic. However, the Swiss claimed a tight 4-love, 1-4 and 4-3 win in the mixed doubles to claim their 4th Hopman Cup title. We're still on the blue courts. Russia's Daniil Medvedev has beaten Jo-Wilfried Tsonga to set up a Brisbane International final against Japan's Kei Nishikori. Medvedev won a hard-fought first set on a tie-break before powering through the second set to win 7-6 and 6-2. He will face Nishikori in Sunday's final, which will be a rematch of the championship match in Tokyo last year, where the Russian won 32 of his final 33 service points to claim the biggest title of his career.
40-15. Game, set and match. Medvedev. 2 sets to love, 7-6, 6-2.
And that's all on Sports News. Gimba Umar will be with you in a second.
Thank you, Kayode. In stories outside of Nigeria now, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the coalition in power has condemned the country's influential Catholic Church for announcing that they know who won the presidential election. The spokesman for the FCC says that the action is illegal and only the Electoral Commission is officially allowed to announce results. Meanwhile, the United Nations Human Rights Office warns that the government's decision to cut internet access after the elections could cause a violent backlash when results are eventually announced.
Intimidation and harassment against journalists, opposition candidates, and human rights defenders continues to take place. And this being a very sensitive, as I said, very tense period, we are concerned that these efforts to silence dissent could backfire considerably when the results are announced. And we are watching carefully, and we are calling on all sides to refrain from the use of violence.
Thousands of Yellow Vest demonstrators have returned to the streets of Paris, their first protest in 2019. This time, they are calling for the resignation of President Emmanuel Macron. The protesters marched from the Champs-Élysées to the city's former stock exchange in the busy shopping district around the Grand Boulevards. The protest, now in its 8th consecutive week, began peacefully but later degenerated as protesters hurled missiles at the riot police, barricading bridges over the river and torching barrage beams. 5 teenage girls have died after a fire broke out while they were playing an escape room game in northern Poland. The girls, all aged 15, were visiting the attraction in the city of Koszalin to celebrate a birthday. The 25-year-old man, who was seriously injured in the blaze, was also in effect. The cause of the fire is not yet known, but officials are carrying out safety checks on every escape room in the country. Escape rooms in which participants are locked in a room and must solve a series of puzzles in order to get out are popular around the world. And the main news again. The National Commissioner of INEC, Amina Zakari, today denied being a blood relation of President Muhammadu Buhari. She told the BBC Pidgin that she had been appointed since 2010 by President Jonathan, and prior to that, she was appointed an advisor to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and that she has done her job conscientiously over the years. Also today, political parties hit the campaign trail again to woo voters ahead of the forthcoming general elections across states. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. On behalf of all of us here, have a splendid night. I am Gimba Umar, and good night.